Hello, welcome to my channel. So I'm Weston the Historian. Something I want to talk about, which is a little concerning to me, is that there has been a rise in AI generated content, specifically regarding history on YouTube. Now, this should not be surprising, as it is very easy to just go to AI, go to ChatGPT, and ask it to write you a script for a video on history and ask it for some basic history facts. And I will admit that sometimes I will go and ask AI for questions about history stuff. I think it's a useful tool for that, but writing entire scripts for it feels a bit lazy and it feels dishonest, and it's strange. It's quite strange, especially because some of these videos it feels entirely made by AI. It's as if the not only the script but even the covers and the content and the animation, it feels entirely AI generated. And I'm not going to name names for which channels it is, but if you watch history related content on YouTube, you likely know what I'm talking about. I see it, and it's quite weird. I'm sure y'all have seen it. I'm sure most people have seen it, but it's quite strange. And I just wanted to talk about it. I don't have too much to say. I just think it's concerning. I personally am not as like reactionary on AI. I think it can be useful, and I think if we use it right, it can be very useful. Um, I'm not as suspicious as other people are, but I think that specific use of it feels wrong. Um, it just feels like a strange way to use AI. I think AI can help, but if you want to actually make a living off of history or build an audience or, um, you know, be known as a historian, you have to actually gather that knowledge yourself. And when you're asking AI to generate scripts for you or to generate content for you or asking it for facts without actually studying and reading books and reading articles and reading firsthand accounts, you're not really learning it yourself. And you're just pushing stuff out to other people, but you're not actually learning it yourself. And that's the importance of learning history and being a historian. It has less to do with actually teaching history and distributing knowledge. It's more about learning history yourself. Because when you are a historian, no matter how much you teach other people, you're probably going to know more about history than the people you're teaching. If you are actually interested in history. And of course, you're going to forget things, and you're going to need to go back to sources, and you might even need to ask AI for an answer on something, or you might need to Google something, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is that genuine historians, are more serious about history and generally will know, and not only know, but understand history better than other people, which is where the difference between the historian and the non-historian comes in, which isn't necessarily the point of this video, but that is relevant because that is something that is going to be lacking, is an actual understanding of history. Because history is not the accumulation of facts. It is much more than that. It is a grand story. And people who are genuinely interested in history, people who are historians, people who want to know history and understand it and teach it to other people, will have a greater understanding of history if they don't treat it as just facts that you gain through Google or AI or even books or articles, because it's more than that. It's much more than that. It's something you have to wrestle with. It's something you have to think about, something you form opinions on, and something you have theories on. It's a lot more than just AI and something you ask AI for. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on the whole AI taking over history stuff. Goodbye. Thank you.